All right, guys, welcome back to ICast 2022 here in the New Canoe booth. We created some fuzz yesterday with these build-offs, and I got my man Romel from California with us here. We're going to go through a little bit more detailed walkthrough than we did yesterday, today with Romel. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, we got a build-off going between Romel, Wizard Works. If you guys aren't following him on Instagram, please do. He's the guy that rigs out all of Greg Blanchard's kayaks. You know, he's the guy behind that. But we also have Fletch Griffin in the house from Westbrook Supply Co. He rigged out a boat as well. And we have a video up on the YouTube, the Facebook. You guys can vote for which boat you like more on the Instagram page, Facebook page. Under that video, just drop it in the comments. We're going to release those results after we go through Fletch's walkthrough at 4. But we got Romel here. We're going to go through a walkthrough from bow to stern and kind of why he did what he did and all the fine details of this boat. So, Romel, welcome back, brother. Why don't you start us at the front, and we'll go from there.
Sure. So the whole premise of this boat for me was this is pretty much how I would run on the Delta, where I'm from, California Delta fishing. So, I mean, this build is probably pretty indicative of how I would set up my own personal boat. So, moving front to back, we have up front, we have the Anchor Wizard up at the nose. Definitely a must-have. Anchor Wizard's been around for quite some time. It's tried and true. It works. Allows me to come upriver, drop anchor, and then float back and then stay in position. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. I always have an Anchor Wizard on my boats. Made sense to put it on this one. So, yeah, definitely a great product. We also have the Tight Lines anchor up at the front. Great product as well. So moving on down, we have the gear pod. Now, the gear pod not only is great for storing gear, keeping your stuff dry, but for me, it acts as an electronics kind of a base, right? So I have my batteries for my fish finder, all the other electronics, all my wiring. So my thing is that if I don't want to run any electronics or batteries or anything like that, I could take this gear pod off and everything comes off with it. No holes were drilled in this boat for this whole install. And I did that specifically to maintain the hull integrity without having any holes, not worrying about, leaks or getting water inside the hull. But also if I want to run with no electronics, I can literally pull this whole console and have the whole open deck space available to me. Some of the things that we did, of course, we put a little bit of Wizard Works touch on it. And, we have a carbon fiber lid that we put in. And, that's just, to me, is some, like I said, it's a personal touch to me. We have a lot of anodized blue hardware. It's just customizing a boat to your liking and it makes it your boat. So that's something I would have done on my own boat. So that's what we did here. Nav lights, we have the nav lights installed on the gear pod itself, not on the boat. Once again, didn't drill any holes. If I want to run without a motor, actually having nav lights on your kayak is a big no-no. So it just makes it that much easy. So like I said, gear pod for me is kind of like the electronics hub base. In this specific build, we did a little something different. We added some more technology than we normally would. So I actually have Siri on board and we can do voice control. So I can say, hey, Siri, turn on the nav lights. And after she thinks about it for a second, the nav lights come on. All right. So, hey, Siri, turn off the navigation lights. Hey, Siri, turn off the navigation lights. Sometimes she's a little deaf, but, sometimes she listens. So that'll just allows me, like, instead of touching switches, pushing buttons, taking my hands off the reel or doing other things, I can just have Siri do it. Whether or not that's necessary, I think it's a feature that I know you possibly may see. Anytime you take your hand off the reel to do something, there's that moment where that fish bites and you're not prepared for it, you might lose that fish, and that might be the fish of a lifetime. So, so moving on down, we got to go into how we have our graph set up. And I have a custom mount for my Garmin 93 SV. And the reason why I have this mount is because, one, it's a personal touch once again, but two, I like to keep my graphs low. I believe in center of gravity, and I like my graphs mounted very rigidly. So they don't wiggle, they don't wobble. When you're standing up on your boat, they don't tilt or wobble or anything like that. They're very like nice and sturdy and locked in. They're not going to move. And then also another thing is the location of the graph. For me, I wanted it in front of me. I wanted it out of the way, but I wanted it close enough where I don't have to reach all the way to the front. So the Limited has a ton of deck space, and the seat actually sits pretty far back. So if I have my graph mounted on the gear pod, it's quite a ways away. So having this type of mount that I like myself allows me to keep the graph a little bit closer to me, but still out of the way, and it keeps everything off of the floor. So underneath the graph itself, it's levitated. There's no mount underneath, so I can put Plano boxes up there. I can, pretty much throw whatever up there I want. I can put a small bag up there if I like, right underneath the graph, and it doesn't get in the way. So that was a pretty huge thing. So we move on down. So we have a little bit of rod storage up front. This is a unit that I make myself. It's a custom unit, and I don't sell them, but pretty much it's based off of the old Yak Tack Bullwinkle. Just allows me to stage some rods if I like, and it allows me to rest my paddles in here. Obviously, there's a lot of other products that do that, but once again, personal touch, carbon fiber, aluminum, just stuff that I like. So, it's once again, it's personal. These boats are part of us when we're on the water, so it makes sense to have it have a personal flair to it. So moving on down, we have the so this boat is powered by the NuCanoe EPS system, which the heart of this system is the Newport NK180 motor. So it's a brushless motor, runs off 24 volts, and it's just a great performing motor. So a lot of times, so we have our controller on that side that's mounted on a Yak Attack mount, and that kit you can purchase that directly from NuCanoe. It's a great kit to install on your boat. It's really easy to install. Now, along with that, we have the new foot pedal steering system. So the foot pedal steering system allows you to steer your boat hands-free. So I can work up current, or if I'm working a bank line or a Thule line, I can literally put the throttle where I like it to either match the current or to maybe be a little bit faster than the current and work a bank line. And I don't take my hands off the reel. There's a kind of a recurring theme here, is not taking my hands off the reel and keeping control on other, like my feet or, my voice or whatever, just so I always have my hands on the reel. I'm ready for that fish. When that fish bites, I'm ready for it. So it's a great system, really easy to install, really easy to take off as well if I don't want to run it. So moving on down, we have a Millennium seat, and this is the Mossy Oak Elements pattern. Very awesome looking seat. Obviously matches the boat very well. It's got a powder coated white frame, and of course this beautiful blue and white water pattern on it that just kind of goes with the whole theme and goes with the whole boat. So also at the gear pod, we actually have a little bit of lighting. We have some white lights up front, and that's also controlled by Siri. So hey Siri, I need some light. And once again, after Siri thinks about it, let's see if there we go. So lights come on. So we have 2 LED white lights. And that's, for me, I mean, there's a lot of people like colors. A lot of people, if I want light, I just want some white light for a minute just to help me maybe when I'm tying off or something like that. That's pretty much what I found for me, the only light that I would ask for. So, hey Siri, lights out. There you go. All right. So went over the seat once again. So in the back, we have the new Yak Attack Black Pack Pro. This is a 13x16 unit. We have this set up with 4 rod holders in the back. Obviously, you can add some more. And inside the box, we have our battery for our Newport NK180 motor, which is a 24-volt Bioino marine battery. It's got the wrapping on it still. But so excellent battery. It's actually, they made it into a smaller size casing, which is new. They definitely check them out. I've been with Bioino for a long time, and they're awesome battery, awesome company, good customer service and everything. So awesome. So once again, Black Pack Pro, I mean, it's amazing. It's a great addition. So modular, you can bolt pretty much anything to it. It's got holes everywhere, so you can kind of add whatever accessories, however you like them. So it's really flexible. So yeah, and then so moving on back, I mean, so we have the micro anchor. And the micro anchor, typically when you run the EPS system, compatibility with the micro anchor is not there. So I actually made the mount myself, and it allows you to have the EPS system, and it allows the EPS system to work 100% without any obstructions, and it gives us the micro power pole functionality. And then, so along with the theme about not taking your hands off, with the micro power pole, we also have that hooked up to Siri. So one of the things that we can do is, hey Siri, anchor up. And if she thinks about it, there she goes. Hey Siri, up, stop. All right. And then, hey Siri, anchor down. Hey Siri, down, stop. There you go. So voice controlled, micro anchor. Once again, not taking your hands off the reel to control the micro power pole. Press a button, reach for the remote. To me, it's huge. So, I mean, to others, it might not be, but to me, like I said, not taking my hands off the reel is huge. So that's a kind of a custom function, but I don't know, you may see that coming soon. To maybe other people will innovate that and come out with it, but you know, it's there. It's a possibility for sure. So,
well, it's all super cool, man. The fact that you could be completely hands-free. You know, as fishermen, we want to have that maximum potential, which we get about having the lure in the water for the most amount of time. And the more time you spend, you know, handling a steering handle, flipping switches, you know, pressing the button up and down for the power pole. It's all cool, man. And it's cool to see some new technology come into the mix with the voice commands. I mean, we're all doing it with our cell phones and stuff. Why not do it with the kayaks, right? So super cool, man. You guys don't forget to go and vote. We'll have Fletch coming up at 4. Obviously, this is Romel's build. The response has been great. It's a very tight line race. We're going to release those results after Fletch's walkthrough. So, Romel, thanks for doing such a cool, great job on this boat, brother. Like, it's awesome. I saw you putting it together yesterday, and I was like, what has he got up his sleeve, you know? So it's super cool to see all, you know, the whole thing from start to finish. I mean, yeah, you could pick out small little things that are cool about it, but overall, it's a bad little build. I'm just going to say that. So I voted for Romel. Sorry, Fletch. I still love you, brother, but you know, it's cool to see the concepts and all the different cool stuff. So we'll see you guys back here at 4. Don't forget to go and watch the video if you guys haven't seen it of the 2 builds together. It's on the Facebook page, the YouTube page. You could vote on Instagram, Facebook stories under New Canoe and all that good stuff. So we'll be back here about 4 o'clock Eastern time, and we will see you guys then. Thanks. We'll see you.